Name is MrimmoaeAhmed, and in this video I will cover May 2024 Unit 2 Edexcel IAL IT, and beside that I will give you some tips and tricks for the exam of May 2025, 19 May 2025 I think. Okay, so let's continue with the first question. So HTML is used to structure web pages. Give one reason why the why the language of an HTML document is declared. So it's basically like when we declare, the first structure of the HTML, which is doc type and then head, body, right? So during that time we add the language in the head, is it? So that language, why we're using that language is basically so that the browser can properly display content in a different language, so that the browser can understand that this particular website is based on maybe Spanish, or it can be based on a different type of English based country as well. Like if you think about British and USA, they have a different accent, right? So that's why it is also helpful for the screen reader to read the browser as well, because when they will read, during that time they identify that this particular website is for the British, so the accent will be British then. So don't write it like this one is applicable for accessibility type of needs, or the people who have some issues like blind or similar like that. Don't include that thing in this question. So let's write the answer. The browser can properly display content in a different language. That's it. Next question is, indenting nested element is an example of organized syntax. Give one other example of organized syntax. So what does it mean by organized syntax? Organized syntax means basically like when we can able to use something more organized way, right? Suppose if I added a tag here, maybe I added a dummy one. Okay, so here maybe when I have to add any of the syntax or any of the element, I must have to use the close tag, right? This is the close tag. So this one is falls under organized syntax, right? So when you write the code, try to provide some space, so it will be more easier to and more readable, right? So you can add, maybe you can add a white space, or maybe you can start the new element from the new line, right? Or you can also use separate CSS and JavaScript file and link it to the HTML, so that it will help to make the code more readable, right? As well as you can also use semantic element, right? So when you use semantic element, beside that you can provide some meaningful name for the CSS. So it's like, suppose you want to provide a part, like you are creating a header, right? Maybe here a header, which is a part of a semantic header, right? Maybe you don't want to add header, maybe you just want to add a div, and inside div you want to add all the content that is provided for maybe question number 4 to design the web pages. So basically you need to target this div. So during that time you have to add the class name, right? So during that time, if you add like any name, like just a class, maybe like you just wanted class, this is actually not a meaningful name, right? Because I use this div for header, so that's why I will add a meaningful name, which is a header, like that. So that's why that's why we have to maintain the organized way when we write the code. This is all the example of an organized syntax. So maybe we can provide meaningful names, or meaningful variable names, or use closing tag, similar like that. Okay, or you can also use comment to explain the HTML where it's helpful. So we can add use appropriate variable names. That's it. Okay. Now figure 1 shows some HTML code. So this is the HTML code. Complete the table to show what will appear and what it will appear when the HTML code on line 3 is run. So which means when the HTML code on this one will run, what will appear. So if you look at the question, they're asking you what will appear. So most of the students write here it's a title or something. Yeah, we know the title, but they already gave you the code, right? Complete the table to show what will appear and where it will appear when the HTML code is on line 3 is run. When it's run, what it will appear. So obviously when it will run, it will appear curtains for all. Right? Try to read the question 2 times and identify what things they are trying to ask, right? So what is the question basically, and where it will show. So when I will run this code, suppose this is this is the title, right? So if I run this one, you can see that this is the title, right? Question 1C. This is the question, right? This is the question 1C and it's showing here. So this part is called title bar or search bar or tab, right? Okay, now if you look at this question, figure C, right? Figure 2 shows how a table of data should be displayed in a browser, right? So how a table of data should be displayed in a browser. The HTML code should show the title, month and days in the first row. So which is title, months and day in the first row, the names of the month in the second row, the name of the number of days in the month in the third row, right? So this one will be the third row, first row, second row and third row. The page does not display as intended because there are 2 errors in the HTML code. Open file question 1 c.html in a browser to identify the errors. Open the file in your code editors, amend the code to correct the 2 errors. Save your amended code as question 1c finish.html. So when you get this type of question, like they already ask you that you have to find the 2 errors in the HTML code, right? So during that time, don't try to modify anything from your VS Code because they already gave you 2 errors, right? Don't try to add external thing there as well. Just try to identify the 2 errors and then solve it. So this is the code and this is the, when I run this code, this is the things that this code is showing, right, in the browser. So here we have to identify where is the error. So first of all, most of the error they gave on this one. So tr here, td is there, but if you see this one, they have the td, but this one is a tr, right? So we must have to add the td here. Now if I save it, yeah, see, now I think there's some issue with this one. So this one is here. So there's nothing called call. There's one thing which one is called call span. So when I will add the call span, you can able to see it looks like this, right? Now we can see that our question, it looks like similar to the question. So which means we solved this one, right? Now, explain one difference between the interpretation of an EM tag by a browser and by a screen reader. So this one is a 2 marks, right? So how EM tag can affect the browser as well as the screen reader as well. So you must have to write it. What is the difference between these two? So when I will use EM tag, the browser will show the data, show that particular text in a bold, or maybe, yeah, I think it will show, so not, I think, sorry, I believe that it obviously it will show it in bold, right? I think EM is italic, right? Or maybe just I can try for the dummy. So maybe I can add hello world. It's a italic when it comes to EM, right? If you are getting confused like me, then try it create a dummy folder and try it like this. So then when I will try, and then maybe I want to again try it here, yeah, see, so which means it's a italic, right? So obviously in the browser it will show italic, and they also mentioned by screen reader. The screen reader will reading the word, right? So when they will read the word, they will tell that it's a italic, or they emphasize the text as it is spoken, right? So how to write this answer? A browser might use italic to highlight the content, while a screen reader will apply verbal. Okay, that one will be the answer for this one. Okay, now we may move to the next question. So this is the question number 2. CSS is used by browser to style HTML elements. Internal and external style sheets can be used to style website. Explain one disadvantage of using internal style sheets compared with an external style sheet if the design of the website changes. So what happened, like we mostly use internal style sheet, right? But what will be the advantage, disadvantage of using internal style sheet you will get if you compare it to the external style sheet when you design the website? So sometimes a student write it like it's a messy, quite harder to understand. It's not like that, right? It's not a messy. Don't try to add the word messy, because when you add the internal style, it's not messy because they have a separate part. Like when you add the style, you add it in the head section, but it's not included with the real HTML code. So it's not, basically it's not a messy thing. So we can write it like it's one of the issues, like each time, like suppose when you create a website, you have a multiple HTML pages, right? And if you use internal style, during that time you have to add the style in each and every pages. So that one will take a lot of time, because you must have to add each and every pages the style, right? Sometimes both of the pages, maybe 2 of the pages get the same style, but you must have to write the code for that pages as well. But if you add it in external sheet, then maybe you can just add that particular link to the other web pages as well, and it will get the color, so you don't have to work for double time. So we can add like this, have to be made in the style section of individual web pages rather than just once in an external style sheet. So this will be the answer for question 2A. Now we will move to question 2B. Figure 3 shows HTML and CSS code. So this is the style and this is the body. So we can see that the style, they uses some of the selector. Go to in your book and read the CSS chapter where you will get a different type of selector. They are uses in CSS. They have a different type of selector. So this selector is called general sibling selector. So what happened with this selector is like line 7 to 9 in figure 3 shows CSS styling for the text in the body section. So which means you must have to write what the effect this style will fall in the HTML and CSS pages, and you must have to describe how it will affect this one, right? So I created a HTML CSS, but I didn't follow the exact text, but I just follow the structure. So there you can see when you add this one didn't get the color. So general sibling, which means the p tag after the div tag. So which one? This one is get the color. And then for this one, Apollo, this one is getting the color, right? So which means the sibling will get the color. Then how to write this one? So the elements that came immediately after the divs have a black background and white text, right? Now in the question C, they say that a web page contains a heading that need to be formatted. The heading should be purple and rotated to 90-degree anti-clockwise. Open the file in question to see in your editor, amend the code, right? So which means you must have to edit the code. One condition is purple, and then you have to rotate it to 90-degree. So maybe for that thing, question 1C, is it 2C, right? Yes, this one. So now it looks like this. So what we can do here, so they already mentioned here add CSS styling here. So for the color purple, we need to add the color which is purple, because they didn't give us any type of code, hexadecimal code or anything. If they gave you the code, you must have to add that particular code here, right? But they just mentioned only the purple, so we just add that one is a purple. And then this one, rotate by 90-degree anti-clockwise. So which means if you want to make it anti-clockwise, you have to add minus symbol. So we can add transform, right? This is a part of an animation. Transform will be rotate, then it will be 90-degree. So then you can able to get this one. So come and join us. So now it's transform, rotate 90-degree. Otherwise you can also add rotate -90-degree. That one is also acceptable, but I prefer like transform is the mostly good, but both is included in the merge scheme, so it's up to you. Okay, then we can move to question D, which is a web page contains a video the video must have a 3-pixel black border, have display control. So what does it mean by display control? That means that you can able to control it, play continuously once the play button has been pressed. So which means when it will be play button, when you click the play button, it will be continuously playing, right? So first of all, that one is a 2D, right? So we open the 2D. This is the 2D. Now if you look into this, you can able to see that they said amend the code, HTML code. So which means you must have to change something here and add the CSS code. So maybe you have to add some of the CSS code here. So at the first, if we think about the CSS perspective, they said have a 3-pixel black border. So maybe we can focus on that at first. Three-pixel solid. This they already mentioned black, so it will be better if you add black. Now it's done. Now we have to change something code here. So there's no control, right? So we can't able to do anything. The video is not playing as well, so which means you have to add the control here. Now when you save it, see the control came up. Now we can able to play. So when we are playing, it's playing, right? Second step done, but it again came to the pause. So but the third condition was play continuously once the play button has been pressed. So which means you can able to see that we have to add the loop. Then when we will save it, you can see now it is playing continuously, right? So this is the end of question 2D. Now we can move to question 3. Sorry, I forgot to add the finish or everything like that. So don't try to write everything here. To try to copy it first and then add finish like that, and then start it to work like that way. JavaScript provides interactivity for web pages, shows the JavaScript needed to display the names of people whose age matches the age that is input. So this is the code, right? And they said complete the table to show the value of the variable after the code is run using the input age of 15. So which means after the code is run, which means the code will run, right? So after the code will run using the input, so the input age of 15. Now if we look into this code, we can able to see that this is an array, right? But this is a one-dimensional array, and this is another dimensional array. That one is also one-dimensional array. They uses a variable, they declare a variable which is age, and the prompt means the pop-up will came up on the screen, and this is the var, right? So for these things, I think the most easier way for this question, just try to, because if you don't understand what can be the answer for this, so maybe you can write this code and do the debugging, which is console log, and then you can able to identify what will be the value. So what happened, most of the students, they write like, okay, they're providing the value of I, what will the value of I? So because if you look at this one, the value of the I started from 0. This is the array dot length, and this is the I plus plus, right? So which means this is the initialization. They initialize this one here, and the I always lower compared to the age array dot length and the I plus plus, which means each time the loop will run, the value of I will be increases by 1. So which means if the age array I equals to age, so this is the age array, is it? I means each time the loop value will be changes. So if it's 0, it will target 15 equals to age array is this one, right? Equals to age. So which means it will be also checking is the input age is, because this is the thing where user will give the input, right? User will get an input box there, they can able to input the data. So whatever they will input here, it will show on the, so during this time they will match, is the whatever the user will provide the input, is it match with this age array or not. If it match, then this one will came up. Now this one is came first time, second time, third. What will be the age length, age array length? So age array 1 2 3 4. Remember one thing, when it comes to the length, it's always start from 1, but when it comes to the index, it's always start from 0. That's the difference. So if you look at this one, which is 1 2 3 and then 4, right? So if you look at this one, if it's 1 2 3 4, that means after the code is run, which means when the code will stop running, right? So which means when the code will stop running, this loop will already fulfill the condition. So which means it will first time it will run with 1, and then it will increase as 1 second time, because the length of this array is 4, right? Third time, and then fourth times. When it goes to 4, when the value of I will be 4, during that time the array length is not greater than 4, right? So it can able to work. So which means the last value for the I is 4. Okay, and what will be the name? This one is the first time when it run, this one is the second time when it run, because after the code runs, so obviously the code will run the last one, because they added the 15 is the first time, second time, third time, and the fourth time, right? So it is started from array 0 1 2 3. So which one came last? This one came last. So Mobin will be the answer, not this one. Mobin, that's it, right? Now the JavaScript in figure 4 could use two-dimensional array to hold name and ages. Write JavaScript code for a 2D array to hold these names and ages. So this is the name and this is the ages, right? The name and this is the ages. So now how can I able to do it? You must have to write a 2D dimensional array. So when we write a 2D dimensional array, it will be better if we declare the name. Like if you look at this one, how they declare the name, they declare the name like this, right? Name array. So maybe we can use any name, because they didn't give us any name. So maybe we can use var, because this is, maybe this one will be the small letter, which is var. Then we have to use var pupil array and then when it comes to the multi-dimensional array, it look like this, remember. So there's a two things that we have to provide, so which means inside this one, and there will be another one like this. Okay, this is a part of a multi-dimensional array. So which means, and this, in this question the student do mistakes, which is they put the name here and put the age here. It's not like that. When it comes to the multi-dimensional array, they uses one array to give all the information of a specific person, right? So which means the calorie and the 15 will be included here, like this, and for this one will be included here. And when it comes to the name, this one is a part of a string, so we will add maybe, because if you look at this one, this 2 is a string, right? This is a string, name is a string, but maybe the age is not a string, so maybe we can add a string here. Yes, done, right? Now we can move to the next question. Open the file question3b.html in your editor. It contains JavaScript code that runs each time the up button is clicked. So which means each time you will click the up button, the code checks to see if the balloon is at the top, right? So if the balloon is at the top of the pages, reset the buttons to its original position. So which means if the button is at the top, it will reset it to the, like if the balloon is at the top, it will make it to the previous position. Moves the balloon upward by 10 pixel if it is not at the top. So which means if it's not at the top, it will move by 10 pixel. That each time you click, it will move 10 pixel. Each time the right button is clicked, the code must, now there will be another button which is the right button. So what we will do before we read the question, we first of all we will run the code and then see how it will work. This one is a 3b. So this is the code, right? So when you get some code like this, don't get afraid or don't get panic. Try to run the code at first. Try to understand line by line what that code is actually trying to tell you. So we can see that there's an up and right button, right? Each time when I'm click up, see this one is going 10 pixel upward each time, and then when it goes to this position, it goes down. Now we can see that this is a body, which means this is a part of the HTML, right? This is a form and they have a two button. That one is a move up and right. So this button, and this is the image of the balloon. So now we can see the move up function is this one. This is the function of move up and this is the function of move right. Okay, and then you can see window.load initial position. So where is the initial position? Initial position means it will reach to the previous position. So they already balance everything. So initial position, you don't have to think about anything related to initial position. We can see how the move thing is working, right? So based on that, we have to write the move right. Sometimes don't get panic. Try to understand what is the code that is given, because I think most of the time you just have to copy and paste. If you understand, it will be quite easier for you to copy and paste. So if balloon is style.top equals to 0, right? So which means if the balloon top is 0, it will set it to the initial position. So which means when it will go here, the top position will be 0 pixel, so that it will call the initial position. Else style.top is -1. -1 means it is going upward, so that's why they provide minus. If you add plus, it is actually going downward. So that's why when I put up, it goes upward like this. Okay, now we will move into the question. Each time the right button is clicked, the code must check to see if the balloon is at the right edge of the page. So which means it will check the right edge of the page or not. Reset the balloon if its original position if it is at the right edge of the page. Move the balloon to the right by 10 pixel if it is not at the right edge of the page. So which means you must have to move the balloon to the 10 pixel to the right by 10 pixel if it is not right edge of the page, right? Then the top of the page is 0 pixel that I already show you, and then the right edge of the page is 100 pixel from the left edge of the pages. So which means we can able to, so this one is the 0 pixel, the maximum limit, it will go up. So the same thing will happen when the maximum limit will go 100. So we will just copy this code, okay, and then we will paste it here. Okay, maybe I did a mistake here as well. No, if you look at this one, so which is move right, okay, so balloon dot style dot top. So maybe instead of top we can write, suppose if we write right, okay, And then they say, because why we added this code, why they added this code, they can identify if it goes to 0, but they already mention us it will go to highest 100 pixel, right? So we can see the right edge of the page is 100 pixel from the left edge of the pages. Okay, then this one is okay, initial position is here, right? But if you look at this one, so we will change it to right again, and then we add it like that. Okay, then when I click right, up is working, but right and nothing is working. So if nothing is working like this, okay, this one is top, right? I need to change it to right, maybe. No, right. Nothing is working. So why it is not working? Maybe we can change it to plus and see. Still nothing is working. So now we can change it to, maybe we can change it to left and see how it works. So from the left it will take the minus. See, left it's working, right? So try to do it a little bit like that. So if left is working, so we can add left here, but it is going this way, it should go that way, right? So maybe we can add plus. Now see, now it's working. So what happened, I just copied the code from here, and then because I understand what this code is actually, right? So you must have to understand what this code is actually. You just copy this and then you try to change it and see how it works. So which means basically I didn't do anything here. I just changes the left to right, right to left, positive to negative, negative to positive, to identify how this is working. And this is done. Now we can move to the next question. Open question 3 c.html in your editor. HTML code displays a combo box containing the name of shapes. JavaScript code displays a red square when the user selects square in the combo box. So which means when the user will select square on the combo box, what will came up? And what okay, so basically what we'll do, we'll not read the question, we first run the code. Okay, I forgot, maybe I can just copy and do it from here. Finish.html, right? Now I will run it and see how it looks like. See, this is the select the shape you want. So when I'm selecting, square is coming, but a circle and rectangle are not coming, right? So what happened, basically the last question, which is number 5, I think, instead of number 5, the every question like 3 or 2, whatever, they will give you the short JavaScript code. They basically give you the code actually. So you just have to understand, they give you this question so that they identify that you are actually understand this code or not. So here we can see that this is the form, right? In the form we have select the shape you want, then we have this select. So inside the select we have, when we click here, we can able to see select a shape, we can able to see square, we can able to see circle, and also we can able to see rectangle, right? And then this is the shape. So this is the shape where it is showing this one. Now you can able to see that for list equals to document.get element by id, which is choice. This is the choice. So each time you will click something, this one is added to the list, which is var list. This one is added to the list. Now var choice equals to list dot value. So what does it mean by list dot value? Which means the value you are choosing, right? So which means when you choose square is a square, when you choose circle is a circle. So now we can see that they are also targeting this shape. So they're targeting this shape HTML, and then they assign to the shape. Now shape.style.width is they're providing a style by using a JavaScript. So they provide a width and height with this, and shape.style.border radius will be the initial means border radius. Okay, so basically they are not provided any radius, so that's why initial. Okay, now if you look at the square, shape dot style dot background color is red, so it's getting red. Now do not change the code above, so we can't able to change the code here, but add the code here. So we will add the code here now, right? So now we have to think this is the selection. So they already provide the square, but we also have circle and rectangle. So when we have more than two condition, during that time we will use else if. Okay, more than two condition. But if we have only two condition, during that time we will use only else. So that's why if we have more than two condition, we must have to use here else if. And then else if have a condition like this, right? So what will be the condition? If it's a circle, then it will hit this one square. Then maybe we can add if choice equals to circle. Else if choice equals to circle, then it will show something like that. But what it will show? So basically what I will do, maybe because square have this shape provided, right? So maybe we can, because for circle we have to change the shape, right? And they also mentioned in the question that HTML code display a combo box containing the name of shapes. JavaScript code display a red square when the user select square in the combo box. When a different shape is selected, that shape must be drawn. So which means each time you select a different shape, it will be shown to the browser. The rectangle must be yellow and the circle must be blue and bigger than the square and rectangle. So which means circle will be more bigger compared to the square and rectangle. So which means we must have to understand that they didn't provide you any width or height. So which means you just provide, it's up to you, any width you can provide, but try to make it higher compared to the circle, compared to the rectangle and square. Now look at this one. So this one, if we look at this one, which is choice square is done, else if choice equals to circle. So if it's equals to circle, then what will happen? We have to change the style, because it should be bigger than the square, right? So the same thing what they added, we will copy this too, right? We will copy this one as well and just paste it here. So this one maybe we can make it double 1000. And the radius, obviously when it comes to circle, it should be 50%. Then you save it. Let's see how it works. Okay, nothing is coming because I didn't add the background. Maybe I can add the color here so that it will be more visible, and see how it works. Yeah, see, the circle is coming now. So they say the color of the circle should be blue. Now it's blue, right? So now the part is we have to use another else if for choice, if the choice is rectangle. So here we will use to equal. Remember why we use to equal? Because we are matching, right? Is the circle is equal or not? Like when you are trying to select it from here, is the shape is square, sorry, rectangle or not? Rectangle. Then we will add for the rectangle, maybe we can, what was the question for the rectangle? The rectangle must be yellow and the circle must be blue and bigger than the square and the rectangle. Okay, so they said must be blues, must be bigger, so circle will be must be bigger, but they didn't mention that rectangle should be bigger. So maybe we can provide a, because we have to when it comes to rectangle have a different shape, right? The width is a bit bigger, so we will take the width here and then we will add, which is 750 pixel, and then we will just copy the color here and we will add it to yellow. Done. Okay, coming, circle is the most larger one. Yeah, so question number 3 is done, right? C done. Then we can see the figure 5 shows some code containing an Onfocus event. Onfocus event. Okay, so this is the Onfocus event, right? Describe the effect that the code on line 6 to 8 has on the web pages. So I think this one is a quite easier. So when they will enter the field, right, during that time the background of the ace field will change to yellow. That's it. When the ace field is entered, the background of the will change to yellow. Okay, yeah, done. So now we can move to question number 4. It's website that we have to design using HTML and CSS. This is a part of a section B, and they already advise that you should have spend like 120 minutes on this section. So basically what I will do at first, which is, this is the thing they gave you, which is like there will be 2 mock-up, a style guide and some initial code have been provided. The initial code can be found this and this. This is the figure 6, shows a mock-up for screen size less than 600 pixel wide. Less than, that one is a, so less than, figure 6 is this one, right? Okay, so if the width is less than 600 pixel, this one will show up, and shows a mockup for screen size of 600 pixel for wide, 600 pixel or more wide for this one. So basically what I will do, I will not look into all these things. Maybe I can see that okay, I have to use the first one, which is HTML5, and it should be responsive. The break target screens at 600 pixel and above. Then this is the font style I have to use. I have to use this external sheet, and I have to provide some suitable padding and margin. And this one I will this one is for the over 600 pixel, right? So first of all we will focus on this one, which is less than 600 pixel. So basically we will focus on this one first, okay? Then we will focus on this one. So before going to the question, I will see how it look like from the from this question paper, because when I also open the mockup as well, and I see that the same pictures they attach here as well. But in other question paper, like in October 2021, I saw like they have a different design. They provide some image and something like that, and maybe I don't know, there's another paper I also find out that for the responsive one they provide a PDF. That one is a little bit different, so always open the mockup in before started to do it. Just open the mockup and check is it exactly like this one, then you can compare this two and design these pages. So in this question both are same. The PDF mockup that they gave, the mockup can be found in the asset folder, that one, and this pictures is same, so there is no need for me to open that one. So let's start draw this one. So we can see that there is a header part here, and this is a part of maybe we can see that this is a part of content. You can add that one as a nav bar, maybe header or nav bar, and this one can be the footer, right? Or maybe, yeah, I think it's up to you. This is a header navigation section, so we will add that one as a nav bar, and inside the body we will do all those things. So now I will pen question 4. So this one is the HTML code and this one is the CSS code, right? So I will start to write it here because I don't want to copy and paste, so maybe you guys can copy and paste, right? So for the HTML they added the head, but they said add code here, so maybe there's something that you have to add here. But we have to add it inside a body. So inside the body we first will add a header, then we will add a nav, then we will add a maybe section or main, whatever you want. Yeah, maybe I can add a main, and then this is one section, this is one section also, okay? Then I will have a footer. After that what I will do, I will just run this code. So now you can able to see anything because I didn't add anything. Now what I will do, I will add the logo and this text, welcome to Scaffold Publisher, that one. Yeah, so we can see that the logo and this one are aligned side by side, right? So that's how what we will do, we will don't use any type of block element, because if you use block element then it will take the whole width available. So we will only add the space which is needed. So basically what I will add, maybe I can add an image here, and in the image source maybe I can add in the asset, where's the logo, this is the logo, so I have to use like dot asset then I will use this logo.jpg, or always try to add the alt name which is logo, header is this, then I will add span, and this one will be this one, welcome to Scaffold, like that. Now you can see, right? It's beside this one. Okay, done. Now we will move to this one, which is we have to add a button event here. So we will go to the nav bar, and then maybe I can add button, and the button name is events. Okay, button events done. Then we will add a inside the body we will add inside the main we will add similar like that. Maybe we can use a div here because you can see it takes the whole available space. So meet our author, so we will add the first div, and here we will add meet our, maybe the meet our authors, then there is a Lauren cat, the pictures, and the paragraph, right? So which means we can use a we can use a div here for this Lauren cat. So maybe I can add this is a section 1, it will be easier, section, and 𝐿aurenCat, right? So maybe I can add a meaningful class name, or maybe you can add 𝐿aurenCat, or you can add part 1, similar like that, but I think I can add 𝐿aurenCat, but don't provide any space, try to provide a dash like that. So here they have a header which is 𝐿aurenSpan, so maybe I can use a div here. So inside the div I will just add this name, and then there will be images and there will be p tag, right? So I will take the image here, image tag, this one, and the first one is 𝐿auren image, maybe in the asset folder. Yeah, this is the 𝐿auren image, so just copy this one, paste it here, and then add the 𝐿auren image here, 𝐿auren JPG. So just copy this one and paste it here, don't try to make it blank. So image is done. After that we have to use the text, so maybe we also have the text. Yes, this is the text for the 𝐿auren. What we can do here, just copy this one and section images, now go to the p tag, then paste it here, and then in this one you can just add the beer tag, save it, it will look like this, right? See, because we didn't add anything, maybe we'll add a little bit later. Now this one is done. Now we'll focus on this one. So this and this are similar thing, right? So what we will do, we will just copy everything for the section and we will paste it to here. So when we will paste here, the name is Stefano Images or something like that, so we will just add that particular name here. Stefano image, and then this one will be, the name will be Stefano Stefano Rossi, and then here we will change the name as well, stefano.jpg, and then copy this one and paste it here, save it, take this one, paste it here. Now if you notice that they have some breaks, so that's why I'm just added the BR here. Okay, break, that's it. So now we already structure everything, now we will work with the CSS. So if you look at the CSS, they mentioned that use a trebuchet or something font style, because we already have our external style sheet. Did we connect it? No, we didn't connect it, so we must have to connect the external style sheet to this. So how to connect it? Link, right, like this, and then we will add question 04 dot css, right? So I think now a little bit thing may be connected, because this is the same in the same folder. So is it correct? Yeah, it's correct, I think. So now the font family, instead of this one, we will use that particular font family, which is true. Yeah, this one. It's not a sans serif, maybe. Yeah, I don't know why this is coming. We will just focus on this one. Okay, done. And don't try to change anything here, because this is the universal one they already added here. I just added the font family because they said use this font style, so I just used that one. That's it. Now I will start with the header. So they said set the height to 90 pixel, background color to this, font color to this. So we can add the height of this to, so maybe we can add header. To use this particular header, maybe we can do one thing. We can just put it like this, I think. So what I have to do here, which is, maybe I can make it a little big zoom. Okay, so the header, the height will be, so we will add the height will be 90 pixel, right? And then the background color will be black. 1 2 3 4 5 6, so it should be black right now. And the font color, which is the color, will be in white. So we can use activity, sorry, 1 2 3 4 4 5 6, yeah, that one is done. Then they said I already inserted the logo as well, and set the width of the logo image to 50 pixels. So maybe we can add a class here, and we can provide the name, which is a logo, because it's a meaningful name. And then you can add here, because when it's class we have to add a dot like this, and then you can add width, which should be 50 pixel, right? So 50 pixel. Now done. Insert the text, we already added. Set the font size of the text to 30 pixel. So which means, because when it comes to the header, actually header cover everything, so we don't have to make another class for that thing. So we just add a font size 30 pixel. That's it. Now when I open this one, you can see it looks like this, right? There is a logo and everything is maybe not that much, but we can able to make it like that. Now we can go to the navigation button. So create the navigation button as shown. Set the width and height. Set the background color to dark gray. So maybe we can target the nav and the button, right? So it will be better because we don't have any other button, right? So we can directly take the button name. I think we don't have to provide any new class or anything, just add the button name, because we have only one button here. When you take the button name, you must have to set the width to 80 pixel, height to, so we will add the width to 80 pixel and height to 40 pixel. Okay, with height, and we will add the background color, which one should be hash A9 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 A9. Okay, done. We added the background color as well. It's done. Now insert the text event as shown. Okay, we already insert the text event. Set the font size, so maybe we can set the font size to 14 pixel. Font size to 14 pixel. Now send the font color to white. Hash, that's right, white is done. Center, align the text, so which means we will text align center, right? Done. Now we can see, yeah, we can create a button as well. After that, they say the heading, which is insert the meeting our author, right? This one. Sorry. So when it comes to meet our author, how to do that? What's the name that we gave? We didn't give anything. Maybe we can add a class name here, which is header, first header, maybe like that, or first title. And when you get the first title, take it, because when I design, I mostly prefer to add a different class name. I don't like to add ID, but if you want, you can also add ID. It's up to you. Okay, so when it comes to the first title, they say we already insert the meet author thing. So try to take a pencil and paper, and then you just mark it down that you completed everything. Text align to the center. So text align, it should be centered. Done. Then set the font size to 22 pixel. Font size to 22 pixel. Now set a black 3 pixel top and bottom border, so which means we have to add a top and bottom border on the div. So maybe we can add border top, how much, 3 pixel, right? So it should be 3 pixel solid black, and then border bottom 3 pixel solid black, right? Done. So now you can see top and bottom there is a border, so it's done. Now we will move to the article. Insert a subheading image text as shown, that you already done, right? Set the font size of the subheading to 20 pixel, font size of the text to 40 pixel. So which means this is the subheading. So we can provide a class name, will be sub HEADING, subheading. In the section there is a subheading, right? So this one will be the first subheading, and then we also have a p text, right? The font size of the text will be 14 pixel, and we can see, oh, that one is the same thing. So maybe we can add the same name, because for the two section they added the same thing. So maybe we can add it here as well, subheading. And then you can see the font size. So we both have p tag, we can directly take the p tag here. So subheading, font size will be font size for the subheading is 20 pixels. So we will add 20 pixel for the font size, and then set the font size of the text to 14 pixel. So we can directly take the p, and then we can add font size will be 14 pixel. Done. Justify the text, so which means we have to use text align, then we have to use justify. Done. Set the width of the images to 60 pixel of the width of the pages, to 60 pixel to the width of the pages. Okay, so 60%, sorry, so which means we can add 60%. Set a black 5 pixel border around the images, right? So the first image is this one. Maybe we can, what the image name, so we can just add the name of the images. Maybe, yeah, I think the both images that is taking the same style, right? So we don't need to add any class, we just use the image tag. So here what I will do, I will tag the image, and then I will set the width to, I will set the width to 60%, that's it. And set a black 5 pixel border around the images. So maybe we can add a 5 pixel border around the images. So how to do that? We have to use a border 5 pixel border. So okay, 5 pixel solid, right? Solid, you must have to add the solid, otherwise it will not take the color, a black. Okay, they didn't give me anything, they just say that it will be black, so I just added a black. Now if I look into this, see, I already created everything. Oh, but I didn't add the footer, sorry. So I missed the footer actually. Did I add the footer here? I add the footer, but I didn't add scuffle publish or something like that. Okay, I cannot copy that one. So maybe here I can just add, I don't need to add, I think you don't need to add any div or anything, just add this one. Publishers, that's it, done. Okay, now we already completed everything in these pages. right? That one is all done, I think. Yeah. Oh, sorry, we didn't. Sorry, we didn't add the footer thing as well. So now we have to add set the background color to black. So we just target directly footer, and then we will add background color to black, set the font color to white, and then set the font size to 14 pixel. And then we will align the center. So we will add text align will be center. That's it. Okay, you can see it's aligned to the center. Now it's done. Now what we will do, we will see, now we will be focusing on the mockup, because this one over 600, that right, that one we will be done later, but we just mark it all done because we done this one. We also completed everything here, right? Like this, just mark it down, but we didn't even start at this one at well. But now what we will do, we will focus on this one, the mockup. So compared to the mockup, we can see my event need a space up and down, and there's little bit of space needed here. This one we can take it to the little bit up, right? And yeah, this one need to be, the image need to be center aligned like that. So what can we do? First of all, it is quite hard, you know, to do it like this way to see the code. The easier one is to do the inspect, but okay, we can focus on this. So which means this one, they added the padding 0 universal, but I don't know, I don't want to add the 0. Maybe I want to add the padding 10 pixel. So yeah, now there is a space, now there is a space, right? I think it looks better now. Okay, so when I add the pixel, it looks better, but I think the image size got a little bit smaller. Okay, so if I add here text align center, okay, we will take this one to the center, but when it comes to the title subheading, I didn't add anything. Maybe I need to add text align to the left. Yeah, like that. So which means I have to focus on the section to text align center, right? Okay, then we can add it like this, which is, I think I didn't add anything with the section thing. Okay, so I will take the section maybe before footer, and then I want to add text align center, so it will center everything. And then I will add subheading, so it should be text align left. Okay, now you can see. But we have to, like, I don't know why this one is a little bit bigger. Maybe we can reduce this to 5 pixel, sorry, 5 pixel, and see how it works. I think it was working perfectly, but I don't know why this one. Okay, sorry, I did one mistake. So which is we don't change anything here, because but they said to add the code here, right? So maybe we can change it here. Okay, we just make it 0 for now. We won't, because whatever the code they did, we just don't try to, it's better we don't modify anything from that code. So now in terms of the inspect, if I do the inspect, then if I click on the header and then not header, on the body part, and then if I add padding, maybe 10 pixel, how it works. Yeah, that in the body I think it's worked perfectly. But it is working on only the body, but I don't want like that. Yeah, I think 5 pixel is okay. Just change it to 5 pixel. Now maybe we can shift this to a little bit up so that these two will align each other. Margin, sorry, we'll add margin bottom. Maybe we can add 10 pixel. Not working. What about padding? Still not working. Maybe we can also add so this is the easiest way, like when you code it, try to, okay, that one also changes this one as well. Now if it's not working like that, then maybe I have to think it in a little bit other way, so that I can align this two side by side. Because if you see, I already did everything. Like here I have to provide some break, so maybe I can add a little one extra beer here, one extra beer, done. Then here I will add one extra beer, done. Okay, now if you look at this one, done, right? But I don't know. Actually I can do another thing, which is I have to go, okay, then I try that one, make it like that, and I will target the header, and then here I will add the padding, 10 pixel. So I will go to each and every section. There's a header, and we also have a, what's the error happen here, subheading, okay, will be left. Okay then. Okay, so we can see that we added this padding here. Then we will do the same thing for header. If you look at the header, Header I added. Maybe I can add that one to nav. So I will target the nav now and add the padding. Then I will also add the padding to main. Did I add the main here again before? Okay, so I will add the main. Yeah, main. So maybe I can add the main here after that. So there will be a padding 10 done, right? Then maybe we can add it to the footer as well. Okay, so now we can see how it looks like. Yeah, so there is a space here. Okay, maybe I think we have to provide some break here as well, right? Because if you look at the, yeah, so after this section we will take this to PR and then we put it here. Okay, done. So this is the problem we are facing. So maybe we can add, like for this one we can add like display, and then you can add a different thing. So during that time you will see when you add display inline block in this span, it is actually aligned with the logo, right? So that's why we will choose span, and then we will add display inline block, right? Then we can see, yeah, now they are aligning with each other. So I think we already completed everything. Maybe the padding for the nav should be reduces to 5, will be better. But I think I give the navigation button maybe I made a mistake. It should be the button. Yes, now it's perfect. So I can see, yeah, this one I already created like this, right? So this one is done now. Now if you look into this one, we can see that these images, right? So if we see these images, then this one will be the images for when the screen size will go 600 or more wider. So which means we have to focus on this now. Now they already gave the code. Minimum width means it will be more than, okay, minimum width means when the code will be 600 and above. They already give you the answer here, above. Now send font size with a 14 pixel to 24 pixel. So we will see which one is for 14 pixel that we added. This one is quite easier, just search and then 14 and then send. Okay, this is the one. So take the button, 14 pixel you added, and you also added for p tag and also added for footer. Okay, so we will add this one. Remove all the things because they didn't say you, just say they said you that 14 will be 24. That's it, change it to 24. And then do it for the same for the footer as well. Then do it for the p tag as well. Then set font with a size of 30 pixel to 50 pixels, so which means the font size 30 pixel will be changes to 50 pixels. So we will see which one will be the 30 pixel now. This one will be the 30 pixel, so this one will be the header, right? So we'll go down, add the header and change 30 to 50 pixel. 22 will be 44. Now 20 will be 36. So where is 20? Will be 36, right? Done. So which means we for the font size changes we already done. Now we'll be focusing on the header. Set the height to 150 pixel. Did we add the header? Yes. So in the header, what was the height we added? 90 pixel. So we will add it here and change it to 150 pixel. Right? Done. Then logo, set the width to 100 pixel. So what was the logo that we had, which is 50 pixel, right? Okay, so maybe we can add the logo to 50 to 100 pixel. Right align the logo. Now they're saying that you have to right align the logo, so we will see this one a little bit later. Now navigation button. So navigation button, which is set the width this and but okay, so which means we have to take the button. Did we take the button? Yes. For the button, what was the width and things? Just copy this two and go below and paste it here. So when it comes to the button, it should be 100 pixel width and height should be 50 pixel. Done. Article images, set the width of both images to 300 pixel. Position the first image to the left of the text about Lauren, and thus that one will be the right. Okay, so which means now we have to differentiate the two images. Maybe we can add a class here now. This one will be the first image, and this one will be the second image. So done. Then, and I think this one is for both images, so we just take the images. We didn't take the images tag before, so we just take the images tag, and then here we will add the width to 300 pixel. That's it. And then position. Okay, so first images should be left. Okay, so this one will be the first 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 image, right? First image should be FLOAT float. First image should be float left and second image to upper to the right. Okay, so this is the thing that we find out. See, when I change it to this, it look like this, but the thing is, yes, okay, yeah, this is the below for this screen is perfect, but when we make it big it looks like this. So for the images, maybe we have to provide some margin to the left. I think margin should be left. Okay, 10 pixel. No, sorry, margin should be right here. Yeah, 15 pixel. I think it's okay. And for this one we will add margin right, left. Okay, so for the first image we will add margin right, and for the second image we will write margin left. Okay. That we have currently. So first of all, for this one, what we will do, this one is above 600 pixel, right? We will target the p tag, and here we will add overflow, and you can add visible or initial. It will take that shape. Okay, so we will add this one for the p tag, and that one we will add in the media query here. Okay, done. This part is done. Now there is another issue with the logo. So what we can do, that should be in the responsive part. So we will take the logo and we will make it a flat right, should be flat left. Okay, done. Yes, I think it's done. Why it's not working now? I think it should be right. Yes, now it's right. Yeah, it's working. See, for the bigger screen it will be like this, but when you make it small it will be like this. Yes, so it's working, and I think everything is perfectly working. So we completed this part. We added the border, but suppose, think about, like, this is a small tip, right? Maybe you will get a similar type of question in this year as well, but maybe they can ask you to make the images a little bit round shape for maybe any of the screen, maybe for that screen, small screen, or maybe suppose think maybe the larger screen. So what we can do, just click here, add the border radius. Okay, border radius at 50%, so it become round, right? And then after that provide some padding at between, so it will looks better like this. And if they give you to add some color, border 2 pixel, solid, maybe red. Yeah, like this. Now we can move to the next question. 𝐂𝐓 Publishers wants to improve the functionality of its website. It wants to implement a zoom page that allow the user to zoom in and zoom out and change an author photograph. Okay, an author page that allow a user to add or to edit the details. All of the record file are supplied in the question 5 folder. No additional resource required. You only need to add JavaScript and comment to the existing file. So which means this is the zoom page that there you have to focus, and this is the author page, right? So first of all, what we will do, we will see how the question will look like. Okay. So this is the code. We can see that this is a form, right? If you look at here, this is a form, and they are calling when this page is load, during that time they are called hide edit form, and this is the hide edit form, which is showing like document dot get element by id, output is hidden. What does it mean by output? This section is hidden when it's load the pages, right? But this form is visible, so you can see the author detail, then you can see the enter author id and enter last name, and included that you also get the input value as well. And this is the button, which is save author. So we have the save author button and we have the edit button as well, and they're calling two functions. This is a save author, this is the edit author, right? So now we will not change any of the written code here, only we will add the code here. Like, they do not change code above, so we will add code to store the last name that has been input in a variable. So if you look at this one, the author id has been input stored in a variable, so which means this is the author id, this is the input text. So whatever you are trying to that particular input text, that author id value is assigned to the author id variable. That's it. So what you have to do, whatever the user will add here in the last name, so this one input last name, that one also need to be assigned to another variable. So see, they already mentioned the author id last name, so we have to take the last name because this one they already declare. So that's why we will not add the var again, so we will add it like this, last name. Then we will add document dot, why we add value, because it's an input. But if it's a p tag or maybe other tag, during that time we use inner html. So value, because whatever you will write, this is the value. So input author id, so instead of that we will add last name, right? So now whatever you will add, it will be stored to this one. Add code to store the last name that has been input in a variable. Not okay, sorry. So I think here I have to add the code here. Now they're saying like add your code for the display. Now whatever the name and everything we added, we need to show it, we need to show it to here, section output. Okay, So we add the value now. Now maybe we can just start the question to read. Zoom HTML contain an early prototype that 2 images. Okay, so first one is the zoom one, right? So okay, we started with the author one then. When the save button is clicked, an automated method must store the values input of the author form in the variable, hide the author form, show the output section. So which means when we will click here, it will hide this one and it will show all the inputted section to that display the author detail in the output section. When the edit button is clicked, an automated method must display the author form, hide the output section, right? So now if you look into this one, when I click nothing happens. So now I have to hide this part, author form. So how to hide this one? They already have this code. See, document.getElementById. So we will just copy this one and add your code for the display. Add here. So instead of output, I will add author form here and the hidden true. That's it. Okay. So that one will be true, but now when when this one will be hidden, this part should be visible, right? So we need to make it from true to false. We will make it as a false. So when it will be false, which means it will be visible. Now see if I try to write something and save. See, now it's hide because I didn't add anything to show. Now what I have to do, now I have to target this to show thing. So how we can target something, because I already mentioned when it is a P is inner HTML. So we will add document dot get element by id, document dot get element by id. Then we have to choose the id. What will be the choose id? This one will be the author, right? So we will add the author here, and then it should be dot inner HTML, and then we will add maybe it will be better if you add something as a text, visible text, right? And then we will add this. When we add the how we add to a string, we use plus, and then we will add the variable name where we are storing. Here we are storing, right? Add it here. Done. Now we have to do same thing for the last name. Just copy this, paste it here. Instead of author, add last name. Last name, inner HTML, and this one will also be last name. Last name, then save it. And then if I add the save, see, Mrimmoe, and the last name is E. Now we have to work with the edit. So what was the thing that we have to work with edit? Which is when the edit button is clicked, an automated method must display the author form and hide the output form. So which means we just have to do the opposite. So take it this two and paste it here. They already mentioned this one will be false now, and this one will be true. Okay, save, and then add it like that. See, it's working, right? Okay, so this is the end of author question. Then maybe we can focus on this now. So first of all, we will open this one. Nothing is working. So we can see that this is the body, and during the time when this one is loaded, they call the set image function. What is the set image function? This is the set image function. This is the images. They are targeting one, and this is the zoom, right? Okay, and this is the zoom direction, so which means if it's in and out change. Okay, they already targeted the images. The image is document.getElement by id, so which means they're targeting images from maybe here, they're targeting this one. And when you click zoom in and zoom out, so they are passing the argument, right? So zoom in and zoom out, here it's getting the argument, the direction is getting the value of the argument in a parameter base, so it can be in or it can be out, right? So do not change the area code to zoom in, do not zoom out below the minimum height. Okay, so now if we look at the question, zoom.html contains an early prototype that uses the image of 𝐂𝐎𝐏. When the zoom in button is clicked, an automated method must ensure the maximum height of the image is 100 pixel, ensure the height of the image increases by 100 pixel. Okay, so which means the height, maximum height can be 1000 pixel, but increases by 100 pixel. Okay, when it zoom out, minimum height will be 100 pixel, ensure the height image decreases by 100 pixel. Okay, so each time when you click, it will be decreases by 100 pixel. Change the image. When change the image button is clicked, an automated method must change. Okay, so there is another button which is change image, so when you click, it will changes the images. That's it, nothing more and nothing else. Okay, so we get the value in the direction, right? So this is the zoom, so which means this one, they're calling the two function zoom in and zoom out. So now this is the zoom direction is calling, this is the images, and this is the image dot client height. So what does it mean by client height? That one gets the current height of the images. So this one is actually getting the current height of the images. So we are getting the value in the direction, right? So we will add a if direction equals to in, right? Because direction equals to in, this is the in, so they are passing in as an argument. If direction equals to in, then we have to declare a variable where we can able to add the new height. Each time they will click, a new height will be added to the previous height. So for that thing, we must have to declare a variable. We can add new height. Okay, and how to add the new height? So this is the height actually, right? The current height. So we will take the current height and we will add 100 each time we will click, we will add 100, right? So now, like suppose zoom in is working, it's not working yet because we are added 100, but we are not checking, still now we are not checking yet. So maybe now we have to add another condition, which is if, because the maximum height for the new height will reach to 1000 pixel, right? If this one will be 1000, if the new height will be less than and equal 100, right, then what we will do, we will changes the style of the height, right? So this is the new height, I already provide the new height. So each time whatever we'll add it to 100, that will be saved to new height. Now we are checking if the new height is maybe less than or equal to 1000, then this one will be workable. So when you increases the height in JavaScript, we have to use image dot style, right, dot height should be equal to height plus 100 plus pixel. That's it. Now see, increases, right? And this is the maximum one, it is not increases after that. So if it's below, it will be increases. Now we will do the same thing for this one. Okay, so we will do the same thing because there's only two things, in or out, so which means else, we just add else, and else they said zoom will be 100, right? So just copy everything and paste it here. So when we zoom in, it should be added, right? 100 pixel is added each time, but this time it will be decreases by 100 pixel. Now the new 100, the minimum limit is if the new 100 is greater than 100, is it? Because they already mentioned if the new image is greater than 100, then you can able to zoom out, otherwise you can't able to zoom out. So we just change it to minus. Now save it. See, this is the thing, last you can't able to zoom out until that. Okay, now we have the part of the add your code to swap them. That one is quite easier. So this is the file name, get the file name of the source of the images. So all the images is the file name. So the file name, if you go and that's it, 1.jpg, 2.jpg. so if we can add it like this, if file name equals to if the file name equals to 1.jpg, right, then we will change it to other one. So how to do the image source here? Did they give us any clue here? Yeah, see, take this one and paste it here. So if it's 1, it will be 2. Else, because there is only 2 images, so we will change it to 1. Done. Now images changes, zoom out is working, zoom in is working. So this is the, I think we already completed the JavaScript as well. Now if you look into this one, so yeah, the thing is this one, when you write the code, try to add suitable comment. Like here you can just add this one will add 100 to the current height, right? And this value will be added to the new height variable. You can add this code logic will only be applicable if the new height is greater than 100. This is the simple thing you can add. Now when it comes to this question, Scaffold publisher want to expand his responsive website. The website will include a web page for book review. The web page must include a form how to capture. So this is the thing, which is username, user ages, the title of the book, the review comment, a book rating of between 1 to 5, and the data must be saved if it does not meet the requirement. So first of all, we will follow the structure. Okay, so if you look into this one, we will first analyze and then we will provide the recommendation by using HTML, what type of element we will use and how you would validate the form to ensure the required data is captured and valid. So the required data is captured and valid. So in this way we have to write it down. Then we will focus how we can able to do that. Yeah, so this is one of the example that I'll write. So this is a part of analyze. So what we have to do, like the age must be a number and must be 16 or older. So this is the thing that I analyze, and this is the recommendation. So when I did the recommendation, you can see I added use a text box for the name, number for the box of for the age that only allow 16 or more, a drop down menu for choosing the book, right? A submit button will be sent to check the form before savings, like this. And then there's an action. What the action that I take? Make the HTML make the form using HTML5, then write some JavaScript code that run when the user click the button. The code should check every field is filled in, the name has at least 3, like this. So you can get some idea from here and the merge scheme and write it down. So thank you for the listening, and please subscribe and share with your friends so that they can also get help from this video. Okay then, best of luck. Bye bye.